You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowing like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up better. Put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the third part of What If Naruto Meets Kim Possible. Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of KFB Anime 87 on fanfiction.net. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Uzumaki residence. It was dinner time at the Uzumaki residence and Naruto was coming downstairs to eat with his family. "Hey son, we're having meatloaf," Minato said with a smile as he greeted his son as he entered the dining room. "Alrighty then. Oh yeah, you got some special delivery mail from that Wally kid, something about his last declaration before he gave up his throne," Kushina said as she came into the kitchen hole pointing at the table nearby. "Oh god." Naruto muttered as he went to look at what Wally did. "Oh, I'm sure he just wants to thank you for helping save him, son," Minato said with an encouraging chuckle as Kushina made their plates. Royal blah blah blah. Naruto muttered as he looked over at the letter. "Hope it's land or jewels," Kushina said with a chuckle. "Oh my god." Naruto groaned. "Oh, it must be good if you're cussing, let's see it," Kushina said with a smile as she approached to look. "Hell no, get your own mail," Naruto said as he desperately tried to keep the letter away from his mother. "Son, I would just give it up," Minato warned as he knew his wife and that she wasn't gonna give up. "Hey look grandma," Naruto said, making Kushina look away as he got away from her, laughing. "That's a low blow. You know I fear that woman," Kushina bellowed as she followed her son while grabbing a Bakken as she ran. "Stop," Minato said as he got between them. "Naruto, just tell us so she'll quit," he said flatly. "No way, it's none of, ow." Naruto yelled as Kushina smacked him in the head with her book, making him drop the letter, which she quickly grabbed. "Ha! Punk butt," Kushina said with a smirk as she looked at the letter, and after a few moments, she fell to the floor laughing hysterically. "Oh man! I owe that prince a drink," Kushina said as she cackled madly as she kicked her feet on the air. Minato took the letter and looked it over before his eyes widened. "Oh wow," he said in surprise. "That moron reactivated my royal status and made it legal for me to have multiple wives like my ancestors." Naruto growled as he rubbed his head. "Well, at least I'll get more grandkids out of this," Kushina said with a chuckle as she calmed down. "You will get nothing but me ignoring you, woman," Naruto yelled. "I wonder if anyone else knows," Minato said. "No, Wally said it's up to me to tell people since my threat with him still stands," Naruto said, glad Wally wasn't that dumb. "Well then at least this means the cheer squad won't jump you," Kushina said with a laugh. "Woman, don't make me dye your hair blue again," Naruto said with a look that said this wasn't a bluff. "Do that and I'll dye your hair green, pink or black," Kushina said. "Okay, let's just calm down and eat dinner together," Minato said as he pushed his son and wife to the table. "Fine," the two said as they sat down. "So what's your plan for the weekend?" Kushina said as they all started to eat. "Kim said we have a mission at some secret research facility in the southwest," Naruto said. Minato nodded at this as this sounded like routine for them at this point. "Really?" "And said her and James were gonna go to Lake Middleton tomorrow and Kim was gonna watch the twins," Kushina mused as she ate. "Welp, looks like I'll be seeing them there too," Naruto said. "Bring a helmet," Kurama said with a cackle from Naruto's mindscape. "It's what I should be wearing around this house." Naruto thought back at the spirit. "So when you gonna have your friends start training with me?" Kushina asked with a grin as she cut her meatloaf. "Not happening, I don't need you scaring them for life," Naruto said as he shook his head. You went through it and ended up just fine, Minato said. Barely. I still have scars from when she made me run on hot coals, Naruto said with a shudder. You do not. Really? Naruto said before he brought his foot up onto the table. Ah, put that down, nobody wants to smell your feet. Kushina said. Minato shook his head as Naruto put his foot down. Doesn't your friend Ron need to train so he can actually work with the four tails? He asked. Him? Training with her? He'd die of a heart attack in seconds. As faithful and trustworthy he is a coward, and I don't say it with hate, Naruto said as he shook his head. Yeah, well, he needs to step up. He's the host for the four tails and eventually those Akatsuki freaks are gonna show up, Kushina said with a roll of her eyes. Naruto sighed at this as he knew this was the truth. The next day, Naruto parked his car in front of the possible household where he saw Ron running over in his mission uniform. Hey Ron, you and Rufus ready to go? Naruto asked as he fist bumped with Ron. Definitely, and so is Rufus, Ron said with a smile. Yup. Rufus said with a smile. Naruto saw Kim's brother Tim, evident by the red shirt, look out the window at them. Hey Kim, your boyfriend's here waiting on ya, he yelled out. I'm gonna kill you. Kim was heard yelling before the sound of someone running was heard. Naruto then saw both twins run out and hide behind him as Kim came out in her mission uniform. I called it, he muttered as he chuckled at the twins. So Kushina told you about my parents being out? Kim asked as she finished doing her hair. Wow, he's much better looking in that outfit than how you put him in your diary, Jim said. Kim glared at this and made her eyes glowed with Kokuo's power. Cool. The twins yelled in surprise at this. Ha, I love these guys, Naruto said as he rubbed their heads. How did you do that, sis? Jim asked Kim. You become a mutant or something? Tim asked. Explain later, our ride is here, Kim said with a flat tone as a hover jet landed in front of the house. I'll explain it to you too, but first to the jet. Naruto said as he put them under his arms as they laughed. Well, at least he gets along with the twins, right? Ron asked with a chuckle as Kim and Ron followed Naruto. I was hoping they'd drive him crazy like they do me, Kim said flatly. Hey, maybe they will behave with him here, Ron said wanting to look on the bright side. Half an hour later, Naruto walked through the jet to find the twins nesting with a pipe in the back of the jet. Noticing they got caught, they chuckled nervously. Here, wanna mess with something? Here's something, Naruto said as he gave them a glove. Gloves? Slap them on then try bending that pipe, Naruto said with a wink. Tim. Hands in pockets. Kim yelled from the front of the jet. Ah, come on, let them have some fun, Naruto said. Then tell them a story. Kim yelled out, not amused with Naruto and her brothers. Like I was saying, Naruto said with a smirk. The twins quickly put the gloves on their hands and watched as they glowed. Strength-enhancing gloves, made for when the normal person can't go down with a normal punch, Naruto explained. Awesome! Jim and Tim yelled. Where did you get those? Jim asked. Well, let's just say I get toys, Kim doesn't. Naruto said with a wink. Now if you promise not to break anything with them, you can wear them the whole trip. Okay, but only if you tell us how Kim did that crazy thing with her eyes, Tim said as his twin nodded in agreement. Well, you're probably gonna see it from me or Ron, or Rufus, so okay. Naruto said as he sat down. One explanation later. Wow! You guys are possessed by some spirits? Jim asked as the plane started to land. Maybe we can find one, Tim said to his twin with a smile. That'd be so cool. Jim said with a nod. Ron shuddered at this, glad they weren't gonna encounter any temples on this mission. Well, we're here, be sure to keep those on so you can defend yourselves, Naruto said as he got up after rubbing their heads. Can you be our brother? Tim asked curiously. Now you don't need me, you have Kim, Naruto said with a chuckle as he watched Kim talk to Professor Cyrus Bortel. Kim's boring, Jim whined at this. She only thinks about clothes and the cheer squad, Tim said as he rolled his eyes. Naruto shook his head at this. There is more to Kim than that. Heck, she tangles with villains regularly, he said, trying to show the twins a different side to their sister. Ron nodded at this as he agreed with his friend. The twins said nothing at this as they entered the lab, which had crime scene tape around a destroyed safe. So what exactly was taken? Kim asked as they approached the destroyed safe. My neurocompliance chips, Professor Bortel said. Mind control chips, cool. The twins said with excited smiles. Please tell me they are wrong, Naruto said with a flat tone at the professor. Yeah, cause that would be ferociously unethical, Kim said with a nod of agreement. Professor Bortel chuckled nervously at this. Well, that's a little harsh, he said as he rubbed the back of his head. Oh great, looks like it's a take over the world play, Ron said with a groan. And from the burn marks to the safe I'm gonna assume Shago, which means, Naruto said as he inspected the safe. Draken, Kim said with a sigh as she took out some sunglasses which were high-tech scanners. Hey Doc, you have a silicon phase disruptor. We started making our own, only it's portable, Tim said as he took out a makeshift device. The professor chuckled at this. Now boys, making one of those portable is impossible. The best minds have tried and haven't come close, he said with a smile at the boys. Well, we have some of the best minds, and we've come close, Jim said. Dweeb squared, quit bugging the professor. Kim said as she scanned the safe. The twins blew raspberries at Kim at this. Kim ignored this as she pulled out her communicator. Anything, Wade? She asked, hoping the young genius had found something. Well, from what I can tell from a small leaf left behind, they are most likely in Peruvian rainforest, Wade said after typing into his computer. Okay, we are off to Peru dash, Kim was saying before a crash was heard. Jim. Tim, she yelled out, knowing it was most likely her brothers. Sorry Kim, the twin boys said together as they smiled sheepishly as they were pulled out of a machine they opened up by Naruto. I love these guys, how can you possibly not like them? Naruto asked with a chuckle. You don't live with them, Kim said with a roll of her eyes. I wouldn't mind, I've always wanted little brothers. Naruto said with a chuckle as he put the twins down. Then you should do what Mom and Miss Kushina want and get Mari dash, Jim was saying before they were cut off. Okay, everyone on the jet and no talking or I'm gonna break all your toys. Kim yelled in a panic as she blushed in embarrassment. Ah, the twins said as they followed Naruto out of the lab. So your mom's trying too, huh? Naruto asked flatly. Yup, Kim said with a flat tone of her own. Feel my pain, Naruto said simply as he was glad somebody knew his pain now. Later on the jet. Okay boys, stay still and just relax so I can pull the cord when ready, Naruto said as he had Tim strapped to his chest as he put on a parachute as they were now over the Peruvian rainforest while Jim was strapped to Ron. You got it, bro. The twins said. They're actually listening to you? Kim asked, impressed. He gave us super strength gloves, Jim said. He what? Kim asked with a look at Naruto. They are a prototype Wade asked me to test, Naruto said with a nervous chuckle at Kim's glare. We will discuss this later, for now dash. Next year in Jerusalem. Naruto yelled as he jumped out of the plane with Kim and Ron close behind. Whoo, Tim yelled excitedly as he held his arms out. Free falling is so cool. Jim yelled with a smile. I knew you'd love it. We should bring you 2 more often. Naruto yelled with a smile. No, we shouldn't. Kim yelled. You two are like a old married couple, Ron said with a laugh at his 2 friends as they all fell down to the rainforest. Soon they all safely landed in the jungle below. Although Ron got stuck in a tree then fell, but Naruto caught Jim as Ron fell. I'm good. Ron said as he lifted his head up. Let's do this thing, Tim said. No way, me and Naruto will go look for Draken. Ron, you're on Tweeb patrol, Kim said with a firm look at the twins. Aw, come on, really? Tim asked. Why do we get monkey phobia, boy? Jim asked. Look, why not look around in the jungle while we are doing this? Naruto asked the twins with a smile, trying to be encouraging. Just don't get put under mind control, Jim said. Although Kim might like that, she has had some freaky stuff put down in, Tim was saying before she was cut off. Okay, let's go. Kim yelled, blushing up a storm. You sure it's okay for me to babysit them? Ron yelled after Naruto and Kim. It's a rainforest, nothing too bad lives here, Kim said with a roll of her eyes, and her and Naruto approached a waterfall. Why do I feel a familiar energy? Kokuo mused from Kim's mindscape. Ron sighed as he saw them get out of eyesight before turning around to see the twins were gone. Well, I lasted 2 minutes, he said with a sigh as he ran after the twins. With Jim and Tim. We see the twins running through the forest with their curious minds taking in everything around them. They soon approached a stone wall that seemed to be blocked by green vines, but some seemed to be torn off, showing a carving of a bull's horn. Oh, I smell a secret, Tim said as he approached the wall with his twin and pulled off the vines, showing the full carving. The carving was of what looked like something that was part bull and part octopus. Awesome! The twins said in excitement. Yo, you two little guys like octopuses, a voice asked from behind them. The two yelped as they held each other, seeing a see-through man. He had dark skin, short blonde hair, and what seemed to be sunglasses covering his eyes. Ah, ghost, they yelled together. Where? The ghost yelled as he looked around in fear. This made the twins calm down as they started to look at the ghost. Who are you? Jim asked curiously. The name's Killer Bee, little guys, a wee. The ghost said as he struck a pose. Hey, this is just like how Naruto told us Kim got her spirit thing, Tim said. Ah, you know of the tailed beasts? Killer Bee asked curiously as he looked at the twins. Yup, Big Bro said that he had a fox and Sis has a horse, Jim said with a smile. Ah, old Mr. 9 and Miss 5 found hosts, huh? Radical, Killer Bee said with a smile. And the green lady has a cat, Tim said. Miss 2, huh? Dang, I'm falling behind, better find a host for Gyuki soon, Killer Bee said with a pout as he didn't want to be left behind. And Ron has a monkey and his mole rat has a raccoon dog, Jim said. This got a laugh out of Killer Bee, which made the twins smile before they laughed. So you looking for a host for one of them? Tim asked. Indeed I am, little dudes. Do either you want Gyuki? Killer Bee asked with a smile. The twins looked at each other. Before. You take it, you take it, both of the twins said to each other before being surprised at what they both said. Well, I suppose I could. Get creative, Killer Bee said with a smile as he then whistled and the carving with the bull on it opened, showing a purple gem which shined in front of the twins before it fired at them, engulfing them in light. Jim and Tim's mindscape. Jim and Tim were floating in a white void where it seemed to be endless. So I don't get one host, I get two. B, you never make anything easy, a booming voice said behind the twins. They turned around and saw the same bull octopus they saw on the carving, only it towered high over them, its 8 tentacles waving behind him. Wow! He's huge! Jim said with an excited smile. Yeah, he's would make Godzilla run away, Tim said with his worn smile. The 8-tailed octoox looked at the twins with a bewildered look. You two don't fear me? He asked curiously. No way, you're cool, the twins cheered together. The 8-tailed October ox was ailment at this before he laughed loudly with the twin boys. Well, at least you don't rap everything like B did. You two may call me Gyuki. How is sharing your power gonna work? Jim asked curiously. Best I can do is that you two can use my power, but only if you're close to each other. If you get farther than 10 feet then you will not be able to use my power, Gyuki said as he could make some rules in the event of a situation like this. Oh cool. We are like Moss and Minos, Tim said with a smile along with his twin. I'm gonna pretend that made sense. Gyuki said with a sweat drop as they were all engulfed in a purple light. With Ron. Ron was running through the forest as he tried to find Jim and Tim before they got into trouble. Tim, this isn't funny anymore. If you guys get hurt, Kim is gonna dash, Ron was saying before Naruto and Kim dropped in front of him, both wearing outfits similar to Shago, while Naruto had a orange one while Kim had a white suit. Wow, Kim, nice look, but why are, oh come on, he said, noticing the chips on their heads. Dr. Draken will see you now, Kim said in an emotionless tone as she made some steam come off her body and cover the area. Hey, no fair, I can't see dash, Ron was saying before Naruto appeared behind him and chopped him in the back of his neck, knocking him out. The steam then dispersed and Kim started to lead the way back to Draken's lair with Naruto carrying Ron's unconscious body. Meanwhile, unknown to them, two figures were following them, whole jumping from tree branch to tree branch. Draken's lair. Draken was at his work table working on another control chip while Shago stood nearby wearing an apron and a forced smile as she had a control chip on her forehead. Who knew you'd be kind of more enjoyable like this, Draken said with a laugh. Yes, Dr. Draken, Shago said with a very fake happy tone. Draken smiled at this as he finished another chip and saw Naruto and Kim approaching with Ron. Ow, Ron said as he got dropped onto the floor by Naruto. Ah, stoppable, so good of you to arrive with your rat, Draken said. You do realize if and when these three get free they are gonna most likely go full aggro on you, right? Ron asked as he gestured to the others. Hey, how was I supposed to know I'd nail the whiskered guy? They just walked right in and got hit. I mean, how stupid can you be? I'm me, do you really think you can walk into a lair of Dr. Draken and not expect traps? Draken said. I don't know, me and Naruto thought you above something as creepy as Mind Con dash. Oh, for crying out loud. Why does everyone think I would do something like that to a woman under my control? Draken yelled in frustration at what Ron was thinking. At least you have standards, Ron said with a shrug, kinda happy Draken wasn't that bad. DMN straight. My mom taught me to respect women, DMN it. Now hold still while I apply these chips to you and your rat. Draken yelled as he nodded at Naruto. Naruto grabbed Ron from behind and held him still, and when Rufus jumped out of Ron's pocket, Kim grabbed him. Gah, geez, you should try for the wrestling team, you gotta kill her a grip, Ron said. Draken approached Ron and Rufus with his new chips ready to use them, before his hands were shocked by lightning. What the fudge brownie was that? Draken yelled as he dropped the now fried chips. Cool. Our lightning can short out the chips. Jim yelled as him and Tim appeared in a flash of lighting behind Draken. Where did you two come from? Draken said. And what's with the lightning? Ron asked, surprised. Doesn't matter, we're getting our friends back from your blue, but Tim said as he and his twins' bodies were covered in a purple cloak and that was sparking with lightning. Oh poop, Draken said as he recognized this. Oh, for crying out loud. You two have a tailed beast. Ron yelled in surprise as he kicked his legs. Yup, we are the 8 tails, yo. Jim said with a smile as he pushed Draken over while Tim helped trip him by being under his legs. Gah. Shago, Kim whiskers. Get them, Draken yelled as he fell onto his back. Naruto dropped Ron as him and Kim glared at Jim and Tim along with Shago. Catch us if you can. Tim yelled with a smile as him and Tim took off running into the lair's basement. Wait for me. Ron yelled as he followed, wanting to help the twins. Rufus made a cloud of sand and grabbed Draken with it, pinning him to the wall. Ah. Let go, you sand rat. Draken said as he struggled to get loose. Nah. Rufus said as he jumped onto a desk and ate some chips that were on the table. Hey. That's mine. Draken yelled as he watched the naked mole rat eat his chips. Meanwhile, Tim and Jim hid behind some equipment as they rested a bit from running. Do you really think we can take on 3 of them at once? Tim asked his twin. Well, what do you think we should do? Jim asked. No way, I mean all 3 are trained. Who knew sis was this cool, Tim said with a smile as they spotted Kim running on a wall as she was catching up, leaving steam behind her. Duck. Jim yelled as him and Tim a claw swipe from Shago, who had blue flame claws and cat ears on her head along with 2 flame cat tails hanging out of her back. Yeah, we're dead, Tim said as him and Jim took off running again, but with Kim and Shago close behind. Maybe not. Jim said as he looked at his electrified hands. Think if we get an opening we can fry the chips? Tim asked with a smile as he held up his own electric hands. We'll have to make it count, Jim said. Before they could react, Naruto dropped in front of them, his cloak active, and he grabbed the twins with his aura tails. Hey! No fair! Tim yelled as he struggled to get loosed. Jim's cheeks bulged before he spat ink in Naruto's face, making him drop them before they took off again. We need an idea on how to take them out all at once. Tim yelled as he frantically thought, trying to think of an idea. Hey brats! Gyuki yelled from their mindscapes, getting their attention. Busy! We are on the run here. Jim yelled 3D at the tailed beast. Charge your fists and fist bump each other. Gyuki yelled at the twins. Jim and Tim thought about this and smiled as they realized what would happen, so they stopped running in the main chamber where Draken was still stuck to the wall. Naruto, Kim and Shago were running at them as they charged electricity in their fists. Hickabikaboo? Tim asked in their little bro language. Husha! Jim yelled him, and his twin fist bumped hard. When their charged fist touched, a massive blast of static went off, engulfing the entire base. Naruto, Kim and Shago were hit by the static and dropped to the ground as their chips got fried. What happened to my power? Did I forget to pay the bill? Draken said as the power went off. You okay? Tim asked as he and Naruto ran over to their sister. Ow! Kim said as her chip dropped off her head. Double ow! Naruto said as his did the same. Make that a, why am I in an apron? Shago said as she got up. Rufus chose this time to throw Draken at Shago's feet. Shago growled as she used her fire to burn the apron away. Okay, you are dead, you blue-skinned JRK, she yelled as her hands erupted in green mixed with blue flames. Draken then screamed as he ran for his life. Now to you too, you squirted me with ink, Naruto said looking at Jim. Cut them some slack, guys, they saved the day and saved you, Ron said as he ran over. Yeah, you actually managed to survive against us and Shago, you're pretty cool for super-powered tweebs, Kim said. How the heck did you both manage to get 8 tails power? Naruto asked curiously. I don't know, we just did, Jim said as he shrugged. We found some ghost of this guy who rhymed everything and rapped. Tim said. Oh, got him. Kurama groaned as he shook his head. So which one you two get? Kim asked. Kim, I just said 8 tails, Naruto said. Yeah, we got the octopus bull thing. Jim said with a smile. EW, now you'll be making messes on a new scale, Kim said. Yep. Tim said with a grin. All that's left I think is 3 and 7, Ron said. Okay, let's get back home, I need to change out of this stupid outfit, Kim said with a sigh at what Jersken had her wearing. Personally I think white suits you, and weird how he color-coded us. Naruto said. Probably a Power Rangers fan, Ron said with a smile. Hey sis, can we join your team? Jim asked with a smile. No way. Kim yelled as she shook her head. Oh come on, they can handle their own, as long as they're together, Naruto said. No, I don't want them hurt, Kim said with a glare at Naruto. This coming from the girl who lets them do stunts and make stuff that could explode, Naruto said. I don't let them do that, they do it on their own. Kim said, getting frustrated. Would you two shut up and kiss already, you argue like a old married couple. Tim said. Naruto and Kim froze at this and both blushed before Naruto glared at the twins. Just for that you're training with my mom so you can get better control, Naruto said with an evil grin. Cool, the twins said with excited grins. Cool. Naruto asked as he didn't expect this response. Who do you think watches us when mom and dad, or Kim ain't around? Jim said. Of course she's gentle with them, they're kids, Naruto said with a sigh as his mom was gentle with him back when he was 10 too. Think she'll make us chocolate chip cookies like she does watching us? Jim asked. Okay, she real gentle with you too, she never gave me cookies on breaks, Naruto said. She gave you ramen didn't she? Kim said with a knowing grin. Shut up, Naruto said with a pout as he looked away. If she's that gentle with them, sign me up, Ron said. Naruto snorted at this, okay. Cool. Ron yelled with a smile as he grinned along with Rufus. Kim giggled as she patted Ron's shoulder before walking past him. What? What's so funny? Ron asked. Nothing, just be sure to bring a helmet when you train with my mom, Naruto said as he also walked past Ron. Ron raised an eyebrow at this as he ran after his friends and made their way out of the lair. The next day, Kim was making her way to Naruto's house since she got an emergency call from Ron saying that there was an emergency there. She barged through the front door surprising Minato, who was in the living room watching TV. Well, hello to you too, the door was unlocked. Minato said flatly. Where is Naruto and Ron? I was called in for an emergency, Kim said with a worried tone. Minato chuckled at this and shook his head as this reminded him of Kushina. Relax Kim, Naruto is 5, he's supervising training in the backyard with your brothers and Ron, he said. Stop attacking me, crazy woman. Ron was heard yelling from the backyard. I'm not crazy. My mom had me tested. Kushina yelled back as she cackled madly before a crash was heard. Kim went out back and yelped as a splash of ink hit the door before she opened it to find Ron and Rufus running from Kushina as Naruto was training the twins. Help me. Ron yelled as he climbed up a tree to escape Kushina along with Rufus. Get back here you punk butt. Kushina yelled up at the tree. Ron, I warned you. Kim said with a chuckle. Yeah, she didn't whine when I trained her. In fact, my training style for her usage of Kokuo may even made her a better cheerleader, Kushina said gesturing to Kim's legs. You could bounce a quarter off these babies, she said. Kim groaned, rolling her eyes as she looked at Naruto and the twins. How are my brothers doing? She asked. Not bad, they learned how to turn their arms into octopus tentacles, Naruto said with a smile. This is fun, Tim said, using octopus tentacles like a jump rope. Ha! Hide the women. Ron yelled from up in the tree. Ron then grunted, getting hit in the head with a Buno nacho box courtesy of Kushina, making him fall out of the tree. Bullseye. Kushina said with a laugh. Don't worry Kim, since their kids' mom's not going hard, like I knew she would, Naruto said with an encouraging smile at Kim, knowing she was worried about her brothers. Whereas this guy is just a big chicken, come on be a man, Kushina said as she picked Ron back up. How are the neighbors not hearing all this? Kim asked. They know mom and know it's best to ignore it, Naruto said with a chuckle. Kim chuckled at this. So are you gonna ask him out, or were you so worried about us? Tim asked Kim. I was worried about you too, you're my brothers, despite the fact you both make me nuts, Kim said with a smile as she hugged her brothers. Aw, Rufus said with a smile at this. You. Girl germs, the twins yelled as they tried to get loose from their sister. Then suddenly just slid right out of her arms like an octopus squeezing itself into places. That's cool, next we should see if you can camouflage like an octopus. Kushina said with a smile. Awesome, they cheered as they ran over to Kushina for more training. Kim's communicator went off, which she answered. What's the sitch, Wade? She asked, looking at the image of the boy genius. Kim, we just got a massive donation to the site. Wade said with a surprised look. How big? Kim asked curiously. It's $500 million from Senior 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 and Senior Senior Junior. Wade said. Kim's eyes widened at this as she was surprised at the amount. Whoa, Naruto said, whistling, impressed at the amount. Apparently Junior met his new girlfriend from the website and Senior was so happy he donated the money as a thanks, Wade said. That, and I wanted to fund you young heroes after I looked into what you all do, a voice said from behind them, and when they all looked they saw Senior standing there with Minato. You have a guest son, Minato said with a smile at the older man. Mr. Senior, this is a crazy amount to donate to dash. Nonsense, Miss Possible. I'm more than happy to fund you and your team. I would imagine you would need the funding for something. We need a training ground. Kushina yelled, making her presence known. Like that. Senor Senior said with a smile at the woman. Just make sure it's here in town. We don't need them leaving town for training, Minato said, gesturing to the teens and 2 kids. Of course, I'll call you all with the details when it's ready, Senior said with a smile. Thank you. Kim said as Senior smiled as he left. Well, at least we won't need to cash in favors anymore, Naruto said with a smile, knowing that Wade was running out of favors for rides for them. And we could probably get better equipment now too, Ron said with a smile. There's nothing wrong with your gear, you're just clumsy, Naruto said as he rolled his eyes at his friend. Actually, I had this idea for high-tech suits that could help augment your tailed beast powers, Wade said with a smile. Awesome, we're gonna be like Power Rangers. Jim said with a cheer. Oh Kim, I got a message from Barkin for you, Wade said as he typed at his computer. Oh, what did I do now? Kim muttered, knowing Barkin wouldn't message her website for nothing. The Cheers Squad has been invited to a cheerleading competition, so you and Ron need to get ready. Awesome. Kim said with a smile as she was always up for a competition. The mad dog lives. Ron yelled as he barked, knowing he would have to go since he was a mascot. Oh, and Naruto, Barkin wants you there for helping with equipment and security for the squad, Wade said. Security? Kim is going and she can kick boards in half, thanks for that, Mom. Naruto said with sarcasm lacing his words. You're welcome. Kushina said with a smile, showing she didn't care what Naruto thought. Well, it's nothing really, but Barkin is taking a route past this really creepy camp and doesn't want any problems along the way. Wade said. Ron froze at this and his hair went on end. Not camp, wanna weep, he yelled in a panic as he ran at the backyard fence and tried to climb over it. Ron, we need you, you're the mascot. Kim yelled, knowing that a mascot was needed for this. No way. I'm not, Ack. Let me go. I'm saying no. Ron yelled as Jim and Tim grabbed him with their tentacles arms and dragged him back. Hey, maybe I could be the mascot. How hard could it be? Naruto said, wanting to help. You can't do it, there is a art to doing this, Ron said as he struggled to get loose. What art? You jump around like crazy, shake your head and throw banana gunk at people from your mouth. Naruto said as he waved his hand dismissively. I suppose Terra won't be too sad that you're bailing on the squad, Kim said with a smirk. Terra? That's a low blow, Kim, and you know it, Ron said with a frown at Kim using his girlfriend against him. This mean you're going? Naruto asked with his own smirk at how easy this was. Fine. I'll do it for Terra. But you two owe me. Now get me loose. Ron yelled at Jim and Tim. Loose? Jim said curiously as he dragged Ron. We only learned how to grab, letting go is another story. Tim said with a sheepish smile. Help me. Ron yelled. Mom, you didn't teach them to turn off their powers? Naruto asked his mom with a flat tone. That was next, but I got distracted by trying to make this one use his power, Kushina said as she gestured to Ron, who was trying to get loose. I got this. Kim said as she reached down to their sides and tickled the twins, making them laugh, causing their arms to change back. Ack. I think they cracked a rib. Ron yelled as he got up. You heal, now come on. Naruto said as he pushed Ron, making him move so they can go pack. Son Goku sighed at this as he watched his host, wondering when and if he would finally step up. With Draken. Draken was in his lair talking on the speakerphone. Oh come on Shago, I promise I won't use those chips any. No way. Mind control is the line, you idiot. I'm done, get a new lackey. Shago bellowed before a crash was heard and a dial tone. Ah, now I'm lonely. I wonder if there's anyone looking to be a henchman, Draken said as he grabbed a phone book. He then heard a crash outside which also caused the room to shake. What in blazes? Draken yelled as he looked at his security footage and saw that outside the lair there was a smoking crater. A meteor? Wonderful, maybe it can power a weapon, Draken said with a smile as he went outside. When he went outside and approached the crater he saw that it was a damaged spaceship. A UFO? That's even better. Draken said with a smile at the possibilities. The spaceship then shook as the door on it was kicked open and a tall looming figure came out of the ship. She was a tall woman around 9 feet tall. She had green skin and hair which she had in a ponytail. She also looked to be built for fighting. Oh my! Draken said with a small blush as he looked at the alien woman. The alien woman looked at Draken and her eyes widened. Ah! Wonderful, I have found the great blue one, she said with a smile as she bowed her head at Draken. Draken's eyes widened at this as he realized this alien woman was bowing to him. Oh, I can definitely work with this, he said with a smile, glad he found a new henchman. With Naruto. Naruto was sitting next to Kim and Bonnie on the bus with the rest of the cheer squad. I gotta ask, why am I here again? Naruto asked with a sigh as he looked at Barkin who was in the front of the bus. I don't trust this road, so if something happens you can help, Barkin said. So I'm SLVLBR? Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow. In a word, but to the girls you're eye candy and someone they can look to if they get scared, Barkin said. Ah, I get it, you're the PMP then, Naruto said as he smirked a little. This got laughs from the girls. Barkin scowled at this as he looked back at Naruto. I'm telling your mom, Uzumaki, he said before he looked away from him. Joke's only gonna backfire on you, okay? Naruto gained a blush on his face as Bonnie laid on his lap. Mind if I sit here? Bonnie asked with a smile. Bonnie smiled at this while Kim rolled her eyes but also smiled. You just like doing this because you like seeing Kim get mad, don't you? Naruto asked as he looked back to see a growling Kim. Yes, Bonnie said as she moved in his lap. Ah, please don't do that. Naruto said. Bonnie, get off Naruto, you can embarrass your boyfriend later, Barkin said. She is not my girlfriend. Naruto yelled. Ah. We are close. Ron bellowed in a panic from his seat on the back. Stoppable, quit moving like that, you're gonna give me motion sickness, Barkin said. Sorry about him, we are getting close to his old summer camp, Kim said to Mr. Barkin. Yeah, it was his Vietnam apparently, Naruto said as he rolled his eyes. Tara, control your boyfriend, Bonnie said as Ron was shaking his mask, getting his banana froth stuff all over the place. On it, Tara said with a smile as she moved to sit next to Ron. I don't like this. Rumor has it back in the day the lake there used to have a temple of some sort, Barkin said. What's the matter, Teach? Scared you're entering a monster movie? Kim asked curiously. No, because for that to happen our tires would have to be popped. Barkin yelled, hearing a popping sound. Suddenly they heard a loud popping sound and the bus started to shake before the bus driver pulled over. Ask and you will receive, Naruto said with a groan as he slapped his forehead at Barkin, tempting fate. Hush Uzumaki, Barkin said as he took out his phone to call for help. It's happening. Ron yelled in a panic as he started to panic again. Slap. Thank you Naruto, I needed that, Ron said, rubbing his cheek from where Naruto slapped him. Barkin hung up his phone and scowled. No phone signal. Okay ladies, everyone out of the bus, we can see if there is a working phone nearby, he said as he looked at them all. Everyone soon piled out of the bus in a single file. What is that smell? Bonnie asked as they saw some kind of slime nearby. Hello nasty gunk, Naruto said, poking it with a stick as he picked up a piece of the gunk with it. Ah! We are here. Ron yelled as he pointed at a wooded sign that said Camp Wannaweep, but what was interesting was the mascot on the sign, which was a turtle. Ron, do I need to slap you again? Naruto asked. No sir, Ron quickly said. What's with the title mascot? Tara asked, looking at the sign. Oh, that's Isabu. I never got why the mascot was a turtle, Ron said with a shrug. Isabu? Kokuo asked from Kim's mindscape. Ha! That weakling is a mascot for a failed camp. Ahahahaha. Kurama cackled as he rolled on his back. Whack. Ow, curse you mental construction abilities. Kurama yelled as Naruto thought of a giant hand to whack Kurama. Oh, I love turtles, Bonnie said with a smile. Why you love turtles? Kim asked, slightly surprised. Yeah, a girl can like turtles, what's wrong with that? I have stuffed one back home, Bonnie said. Nothing, just don't go off on your own while here, Kim said quickly as she had a bad feeling. Ow. Ron yelled as he lifted his hand to find, ironically enough, a turtle at the end of his mascot finger. Haha, guess history repeats itself, huh, Naruto said as he chuckled. Not funny, I couldn't go 5 feet in this place without running into some kind of turtle and they all hated me, Ron said. Really? Kim asked, finding that odd. The worst was the alligator snapping turtle, Ron said as he shivered in fear remembering that experience. Oh, will you man up? I swear I got the short stick when I got a new host. Son Goku bellowed in a rage. Okay ladies, we're going unstoppable since you have history here, lead the way, Barkin said firmly. Aw man. Ron groaned before grunting as Terra clung to him. I call Naruto. Kim and Bonnie yelled at the same time before they both grabbed a arm. Lucky me I guess, Naruto said with a shrug. Ron led them into the camp and followed the road. Unknown to them, the turtle that bit Ron followed them at its own pace. Inside the camp. The group were walking into the camp and were approaching where the cabins were. Ah, it's still so creepy, Ron said as he shuddered. Was the lake always so disgusting? Naruto asked as he could smell the lake and how polluted it was. And nobody really cared about the lake, so pretty much everyone just tossed in whatever. They thought it could be a solution for all the turtles that kept sneaking into the cabins, Ron said as they walked towards a cabin. That's horrible. Bonnie said as she frowned. This is new coming from you, Kim said as she raised an eyebrow at her. Don't you have a favorite animal possible? Horses, Kim said after few moments of silence. And if someone was hurting a place where horses lived, how would you feel? Bonnie asked curiously. I'd kill him, Kim said as she nodded in understanding. See, oh, how could anyone hate something so cute, Bonnie said as she picked up a turtle that was moving between them. The turtle looked at Bonnie and unnoticed to her its eyes were slightly glowing. Seriously, Ron, you were afraid of these little guys? Bonnie asked curiously. It's no joke, I mean it felt like you could find every species of turtle here, it was so creepy, Ron said. Every kind? Naruto asked curiously as he had an idea what was going on, especially since Kurama knew the name Isabu. Kim sighed at this as she looked at Naruto, who nodded at this as she had an idea they were thinking the same thing. Yeah, I remember a legend about this place. Apparently there was a tribe here long ago and they worshipped the turtle, and as thanks for the great Isabu's protection they would bring a turtle from different locations for him to befriend, Barkin said. If they did, what happened to that supposed temple? Bonnie asked curiously. Place got sold off, they tried to make the turtles leave but they kept coming back, Barkin said as he shrugged. Persistent little guys, Bonnie said as she booped the turtle's nose before it went into its shell. As for the temple, legend has it an earthquake swallowed it whole, and some say the lake was formed right on top of it. Forget that, you could not pay me enough to swim in that, Naruto said. We won't be swimming, Uzumaki. Okay, here's a place for you all to stay while I go try to find a phone possible, and Uzumaki, you're in charge, Barkin said as he approached a cabin and opened the door for them all. Oh joy, the stud in charge of cheerleaders and Iran, Naruto said flatly. Sounds like a bad movie, hope one of the cheerleaders said as they all went inside. Oh, I want to go home, Ron said. Why does this place freak you out so much, what happened here? Naruto asked. Got a weekend? Kim asked with a roll of her eyes. Not funny, Kim, Ron said as he pouted. Yeah. Rufus said as he poked his head out of Ron's pocket. What doesn't freak this guy out besides his shadow? Hope said with her arms crossed. Monkeys, Naruto said as he coughed into his fist. Where? Ron yelled as he looked around in a panic. Luckily we have a real man to protect us. Liz said as she rolled her eyes. Ouch, Ron said as Tara rubbed his back to comfort him. Okay, enough, we all need to stick together and not turn on each other, Kim said as she tried to keep everyone calm. Hey, Ron, was glowing slime normal back in the day? Tara asked. Not from what I recall. Why? Ron asked as he raised an eyebrow at the odd question. Tara pointed outside the cabin looking at what looked like glowing footprints. Great, let me guess, a lake monster, right, Ron? Crystal asked. Better than a guy in a hockey mask, Naruto said with a chuckle before Bonnie punched him in the shoulder. Not funny, Bonnie said as she scowled at Naruto's joke. I just don't understand, out of nowhere we get stopped here where Ron went to summer camp. Something's going on here, Kim said as she was starting to find this odd. Ron, is there something you aren't telling us? Naruto asked, hoping Ron had some idea what was going on. Like what, somebody didn't like him back then and wants him? Marcella asked. Before anyone could respond they heard someone yelling outside. Barkin. Naruto said as he recognized the yell from the older man. Aw man, I told you we should have left. Crystal yelled. If whatever the heck out there wants Ron, let's just throw him to it. Hope said. Alright Ron, start talking before I start swinging. Is there something you haven't told us, someone who just might want to get at you? Well. But that's impossible, he drowned, Ron said as he thought about this. Who? Who went in that lake while you were here? Naruto asked. His name was Gil. He jumped into the lake after we traded my swim time for his crafts time and I never saw him come back out. I think we found our movie monster. All the SHT in that lake could possibly have caused a mutation, Naruto said as he scowled. So we have a literal swamp monster former camper out for Ron just because he went in the lake instead? Marcella said. Okay Kim, you and Bonnie stay here, me and Ron will go help Barkin, Naruto said as he looked at Kim. I'm not going out, ow. Ron was saying before Naruto grabbed his ear. Let's go, I said. Naruto said as he pulled on Ron's ear. Okay, I'm coming, ow. Ron yelled as he was dragged off. I say we should find a better cabin to hide in, one with better defenses, Bonnie said with a frown. Hate to say it but I agree with her, Kim said as she nodded. You two are actually agreeing. Wow, we must really be in a monster movie, Hope said. Okay ladies, follow me and stick together, Kim said as she led the way out the back door. No duh, that splitting up CRP never works out in this situation, Marcella, as they all followed Kim. You might want to go easy on the turtle there, Bon, Tara said as Bonnie was hugging the turtle she was holding rather tightly. Sorry, I'm used to hugging my stuffed one when I'm scared or nervous, Bonnie said as she lightened up on the turtle who was unaffected thanks to its shell. As the cheerleaders walked into the woods they didn't notice a pair of eyes watching them from a bush nearby. With Naruto. Naruto and Ron were walking through the woods as they tried to find Barkin. Oh my god, I don't know who shakes more in fear, you or Shaggy and Scooby, would you quit already? Naruto said as Ron's teeth chattering was getting on his nerves. Sorry, you fear nothing, dude. Naruto sighed at this as he looked at Ron. Look Ron, I understand you're scared but you can't let that consume you. We are in a situation where we and the others could get hurt, he said as he tried to comfort his friend. I'm sorry, it's just, well, fear comes so easily to me. I guess my life wasn't the best way to gain confidence as I've always struggled with that, Ron said as he sighed. Well, think about it this way, either man up or your now mutant camp mate will find and hurt Tara, Naruto said with a firm tone. Ron paused at this as he thought about Tara and how much his life got better after they started dating. Oh. Rufus said, pointing down to show glowing slime nearby. Suddenly they heard a spitting sound and before several balls of sludge could strike them it was blocked by Rufus's sand barrier. Well, guess I'm not the only freak around here, a male voice said. Gil. Ron said as a very cliché style of swamp monster came out of the grass. It's Gil, with 2 L's now, been a while stoppable, the now revealed Gil said as he glared at Ron. My god, the lake did this to you? Ron said. What did you expect, you idiot? The camp was next to a science camp. Gil yelled at Ron. Seriously? You let him go into that water knowing that? Naruto asked. Hey, he made the offer to SWCH activities now me, Ron said as he frowned. You didn't have to go through with it. Naruto said. Thank you. Gil said as he looked at Naruto. And you didn't need to go swimming when the lake looked like that, so you're both morons, Naruto said as he glared at Gil as they were both at fault. True, but check me out, Gil said as he flexed, gesturing to himself. Gil, I can help you, there are scientists out there that can fix this, Naruto said as he tried to appeal to the mutated teen. Why would I want this fixed? Gil asked as he glared at Ron and Naruto. You like this? Ron asked, surprised at this. I have power now, Ronnie, I'm not gonna give it up just like that, Gil said as he smiled evil. Ronnie, I'm gonna remember that, Naruto muttered. Dude. Sorry. Besides, considering all the other freaks, I bet I could get me a fine girlfriend, Gil said as he ran his hand through his scaly finned head. With what a fish stock? Ron asked with a nervous chuckle. Ha! Naruto yelled as he found this funny. Look, Cat Whiskers, this is between me and Stoppable, you have other concerns, Gil said as he held up Bonnie's turtle. The redhead put up a fight but she's trapped with the others ready to become mutants like me, he said with a grin. Naruto growled at this. I don't want you so you can get the girls, the teacher, and leave this to Fish Monster and, whatever Ron is, Gil said. Naruto changed some of Kurama's aura and slammed his fist into Gil's gut, sending him flying into a tree. Yeah. Gil said as he instantly got back up, grinning. Ron, go and find the girls, I think I can take this guy, Naruto said before he got tackled and got pushed through some trees. Ron hesitated at this before he took off to go find the girls. Not bad, Whiskers, you have some moves, what's your story? Gil asked as he jumped back before firing some sludge at Naruto which he dogged. Monk along with some ancient fox power, Naruto said as he weaved between the trees. Cool, sounds like the turtle temple in the bottom of the lake, Gil said as he fired some more. Good, I'll take a look after I'm done turning you into fish sticks. Naruto yelled as he charged at Gil with his aura claws. Gil leapt up, flipped as he donkey kicked Naruto's head into a tree. There's termites in here. Naruto yelled as he tried to get loose before Gil hit him with some slime binding him to the tree. Nice try, Whiskers, but I have been here training with my new body for years, ever since the transformation. Don't worry, you'll make one awesome swamp fox, Gil said, patting Naruto as he walked off. Ugh, this is humiliating, Naruto groaned as he felt like maybe he should be training more. I'll deal with you later after I get that geek, Gil said as he left Naruto. Kurama's never gonna let me live this down. You bet I'm not, you moron. Kurama bellowed. Shut up before Barney goes in there, Naruto said flatly. With Ron. Ron was making his way back to the cabins and he was near the lake before Rufus blocked an attack from behind from Gil, who caught up. Come on, Stoppable, don't tell me you're scared of little ol' Gil now, Gil said with a mocking tone. I'm scared of everything, you know that. Ha. No wonder that girl of yours has been getting mocked by her fellow cheerleaders, Gil said with a laugh. Oh, that's a low blow from the creep from the Black Lagoon, Ron said. You know I'm not wrong, was Gil said with a. At least I got a girlfriend, Mr. Stayed in this camp like a creep. And you're gonna lose her by being a coward dweeb. But don't worry, I'll take real good care of her once the transformation is through. Ron scowled at this as he glared at Gil and a red area glowed in his eyes. What do you know, Ronnie has his own funky aura going on, Gil said as he grinned evilly. Ron's mindscape. Ron sat within his subconscious with Goku standing across from him. Both simply sat in silence, not speaking a word to each other. So you've made up your mind? Goku asked as he looked at his host. Yeah, KP, Naruto, Rufus, now even Jim and Tim, all of them have had to save me time and time again. Now it's my turn to finally save the people I care about. It's time to stop running away and fight. Ron said as he clenched his fist, causing twin volcanoes to appear behind him, erupting with a thunderous fury. Goku smiled, walking up to Ron holding out his fist, which the blonde teen happily bumps. Back with Gil. Gil charged at Ron, ready to strike him before Ron grabbed him by his throat and a red aura covered him. The F. Gil choked out as what looked like an image of a four-tailed ape formed around Ron. No more running, Ron said as he tossed Gil, sending him towards the lake nearby. Gil got up and looked around for any sign of his former victim, but before he could react he was suddenly tackled by Ron, pushing him back. Gil grabbed at Ron's shoulders, trying to push him off back. He refused to let go. As they came closer to the lake, Ron let go, throwing a punch, hitting Gil in the stomach before punching him across the face and spin kicking him across the face, knocking him back. Gil growled, grabbing Ron by the leg and dragging him down into the murky water. Ron gasped for air as he looked around for Gil. "You can't win, Ronnie, this is my element," Gil said smugly, grabbing Ron and dragging him into the murky water, hoping to drown him. As they sink further and further into the water, the mutant teen's eyes widened as he felt the water starting to feel hot. Ron smirked as the heat began to increase, slowly causing the lake to come to low boil. Gil cried out in pain underwater, and he let go of Ron and swam to the surface with Ron chasing after him. "And magma is my element," Ron shouted as he jumped out of the water, smashing a burning fist into Gil's cheek. Burning his right cheek. "R. My face. My face." Gil screamed, rolling around the ground in pain as he looked up at Ron. He staggered to his feet and launched a punch at Ron, who swatted the hit aside, punching him in the gut, sending a burning pain through his chest, then striking him once again, knocking him back. "Why, you little, ow, 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 not you blasted turtles again," Gil yelled as he lifted his arms, finding turtles biting him. "Thanks for the opening, little guys," Ron said as he looked at Gil, and soon Ron's cheeks bulged. "What, you think you can spit at me, dweeb?" Gil asked with a mocking tone. Ron said nothing before he opened his mouth and fired what looked like globs of lava at Gil and the lake. "Oh, come on. Hot, 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 hot," Gil shouted as he jumped out of the lake. "Lava monkey powers. You hate monkeys. I'm a ape. You better recognize," Ron yelled as he took off after Gil. "That's my boy," Goku yelled as he smiled and hooted happily that Ron was stepping up. But Tails, how can you be an ape if you have tails?" Because, OSHT, he does have a point," Ron muttered. "Just fight him, you moron," Goku bellowed at his host. Ron nodded as he finally caught up with Gil, who was on the shore against to escape the turtles. "W8, yuk," Gil yelled as Ron slugged him in the gut before he grabbed him by his back. "Hi-ya-ya," Ron yelled as he spun himself and Gil around before he launched Gil and sent him crashing through several cabins, destroying them. One of the cabins he saw the girls' heads poke out. "Ron," Kim said in shock at seeing Ron with his tailed beast aura active. "Yeah, baby, that just happened. Who's the scared little boy? No OW," Ron said as a turtle bit his foot. "Oh, come on, you had to ruin my moment." Is he dead?" Bonnie asked as they approached Gil, who was on the floor, bruised and battered. "I heal, ugh," Gil said, lifting his head up before returning to unconsciousness. "Ha! The sidekick finally gets his time." "Whoa!" Ron yelled as Terra tackled him into a hug, sending him to the ground. "That's mean, I knew you had it in you," Terra said with a smile as she kissed Ron on the cheek. "How?" half the cheerleaders said in shock. "Well, the turtles in the lake grabbed him, letting me get him," Ron said as he and Terra got off the ground. Everyone watched as the turtles made a ring around Bonnie. "Oh, you have to be kidding me, her," Kim said. "What?" Bonnie asked as she looked at the lake and saw what looked like a giant tortoise make its way out of the lake. "Giant turtle," Ron said in fear as he shook. The tortoise ignored Ron as it made its way to Bonnie. "Aw, you're so cute," Bonnie said as she hugged the turtle before she noticed something. "Why is there a jewel in your shell?" she asked as she looked at the ocean blue jewel in the middle of its shell, which started to glow. "Oh no," Kim said with a groan as she saw what was coming. The jewelry then fired a blast at Bonnie which engulfed her. She's going to be impossible to deal with now, Kim groaned as she punched her nose. Oh. KP Naruto was in the woods, we should go check on him, Ron said as he pointed towards the woods. Oh geez, that's it, I'm making his mom up his training, KP said with a frown as Chev used it into the woods to go find Naruto. Bonnie's mindscape. Bonnie found herself in a white void, and as she looked around she found herself by a crystal blue lake. Suddenly a giant turtle with 3 tails rose out of it and looked at her. Bonnie's eyes widened in surprise as the giant turtle looked down at her with its singular eye. Hello, my name is Isabu, the giant turtle said. What is going on? I like turtles, but even this seems odd to me, Bonnie said as she looked up at the massive turtle. Isabu chuckled at this. You should ask your friend Kim, Ron, and Naruto, they are in the same situation you are now in. I'd ask him anything, Bonnie muttered with a chuckle. So they have giant turtles in them too? She asked. No, they got their own tailed beasts, Isabu said as he shook his beard. Tailed beasts? Bonnie asked curiously. All will be explained later, Bonnie, just know that me and you are partners now and that soon you will begin to work with the others to prevent what is coming, Isabu said as he started to glow along with Bonnie. Outside. Bonnie found herself surrounded by the cheer squad and Ron as she got up off the ground. You okay? Kim asked curiously as she came out of the woods. Yeah, where's Naruto? Bonnie said as she looked around. Over here, and I'm not coming over, Naruto said a good distance away with his hands behind him glaring at Ron. Why? A certain lava man tore gunk off of me, tearing off a chunk of my pants. Naruto said. I said I was sorry, just be glad your butt's exposed and not your junk, Ron said. Here Uzumaki, tie my coat around yourself, Barkin said as he approached since Kim found him after she found Naruto. Ah, Bonnie said as Naruto did so. Let's go on a few dates before you get to see that first bonbon, Naruto said as he secured the coat to him. Good, I have some questions about Isabu you may be able to answer, Bonnie said with a smile. Naruto paused at this before he looked at Kim and Ron. Yeah, the turtles really liked her apparently, Kim said with a sigh. 7 down 2 to go, Ron said with a sigh while Rufus nodded. So, for these dates, where would you like to go? Bonnie asked, wrapping her arms around his right arm. Hey wait, he wasn't being serious about dates, Kim said as she blushed a little. I don't know, I think I'll take him on the offer, Bonnie said smiling mischievously. Naruto coughed at this before he composed himself. Look, when we get back to Middleton we can all go out and I can explain the situation with your new turtle friend, he said as he figured. 3-way date, you are one knky boy Naruto, Bonnie said making him groan as his blush returned. Ron's going so relax, Kim said. Oh. Is that why he was manhandled, that swam monster guy? Bonnie asked as her eyes widened in surprise as she realized that Ron must have a tailed beast too. Actually he had enough when Gil talked about Terra, but yeah, Naruto said with a chuckle as he pointed out Ron and Terra who were sitting together and talking nearby. Speaking of Gil, what's gonna happen to him? Ron asked curiously. I'm going to send him to a scientist. She should be able to restore the guy, at least he'll be able to have a normal life again, hopefully, Naruto said. Okay, help is being sent thanks to your hacker friend Possible, Barkin said as he came back from using a payphone nearby. Thank you Wade, Kim said as she smiled, glad Wade had her back. I'm just glad you finally stepped up, Ron, Naruto said as he smiled at his friend as Try all started to make their way back to the bus. I just gave him a little ape business, a little, whoa. Ron said, trying to show off only to slip and fall on his butt. Well, now Mom can stop holding back on you, Naruto said as he chuckled as he helped Ron to his feet. If anyone needs training it's you after you getting trapped by Gil, Kim said as she slightly glared at Naruto as they walked. Naruto paused at this as he tried to think of an excuse. Would you believe I was hoping to make Ron finally help? He asked as he chuckled nervously. A little, but then again we've never gone up against mutant monsters before so it's okay, Kim said. Oh geez, does that mean I shouldn't have texted Miss Kushina about his loss? Ron asked nervously. Naruto paled at this before his phone started to ring. He pulled out the phone and saw the caller ID said Mom with a picture of Kushina yelling while holding a Bakken sword. Hello? Naruto asked as Ge answered the phone. Don't hello me brat. What's this I hear about you having to be saved by Ron? Kushina bellowed. Ron! Naruto yelled as he wasn't amused that Ron threw him under the bus. Ron chuckled nervously and ran away pulling Tara with him with Naruto, Kim and Bonnie close behind while Kushina was heard cursing at Naruto over the phone. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for more crossovers. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author KFB Anime 87 on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.